Hello, everyone. How are you all doing this week? You guys must be really excited about this topic at hand because it's one of those topics that has so many questions, and all of you all might be so much curious to what exactly a karmic soulmate is. And as always, I will be offering free channeling in the end. I'm just going to give it a few moments until I see more of y'all joining in. So until then, show me that you're here. Send me a hi. Tell me how your weekend has been going and how the month of May has been energetically. Please feel free to share your comments, your opinions, and I will start anytime soon. I see a lot of excitement about this topic. Hey Amy, how are you? So good to see you. Hi Bardi, so happy. See, my face lights up when I see my regulars. Hi Julia, I hope you're all doing well. It has been I would consider May to be such a beautiful month. May has always been the season of spring. Back in Australia, um, I mean, in the US, apologies. Amy, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better soon. Oh, that's not good at all. COVID really sucks the soul out of you, literally. It's such a energy draining condition. But sending you heaps of love and Reiki, all will get better. So yes, and I'm so happy to see you all tuning in. It's a Saturday night for a lot of you back in the US. It's morning, Sunday morning for those in Australia and Singapore, and midnight in Europe. All right. Are you guys all excited about today's topic? Hi, Stephanie. I'm good. How are you? So, another minute, and I'm diving right in. Hey, MJ. Thank you for the hearts, the two blue and the two purple hearts. So lovely of you. Hey, guys. All right. I see a good 10 viewers. So, I think I'm ready to start. Hey, Shay. All right. Okay, guys. So, what are karmic soulmates? Before we delve right into it, I want you guys to understand what karma is, because there's a lot of misconception and people tend to misconstrue what karma actually means. And karma, in its simplest definition, just means cause and effect. And of course, there's a lot of fear associated with karma because there's always a lot of fear attached to certain concepts that are born out of ignorance. So for instance, people who are ignorant would tend to say, oh, karma is bad, karma is like, oh no, you are cursed in this life. So you have to first get over that, because karma in itself basically means cause and effect. So example, you're with someone, there is cause, and then as a result there'll be an effect, you see. So that's how karmic soulmate connections are born. And often karmic connections are not necessarily bad. They are here to teach one lessons. So you have to view it as an experience. Not all karmic relationships are completely pleasant, but definitely there is a kaleidoscope of experiences available in such a connection. And your question would be, why do souls actually choose that experience? Let me give you a simple analogy, right? Okay, for instance, you have a very good connection, on earth with someone. And you feel like there's certain things that didn't reach full circle. It could be a husband or it could be an ex-boyfriend, and in your next lifetime you will be given that opportunity to complete the cycle with that person. So not all the time that it's going to be bad. It could be little things as It could be something such as not being able to be together or not being able to spend the time together. So, even that is considered a karmic connection because in your next lifetime or even in this lifetime, you'll be given an opportunity to complete that cycle with that person. And it is your choice as to whether you want to complete the cycle or be entangled in that cycle. And when you are entangled in the cycle, that's when karmic connections become a repetition in your life's theme. So that's why you keep reappearing with that same person over and over and over again. And it always ends up in tragedy because that is how it was built or that is what you experienced. And there's so much. So karmic connections tend to be, okay, all connections are divine, but karmic connections tend to be more material, meaning there is more emotions and physicality attached to it. And that's why karma tends to be quite unique to 3D planets. And that's the reason why some people have the fear, and have that because they are limited to just the 3D density. And that's why their perception is often misconstrued. Hi, Melanie, good to see you. And we are talking about what karmic soulmates are. So, that is the reason why understanding what karma is and understanding that everything in life is an experience are two vital concepts that you guys have to understand. And only then you will be able to navigate such connections. And why is there a thin line between karmic connections and twin flame connections? Is because of the intensity of the connections. With karmic connections, the intensity varies, whereas with twin flames, the intensity is just fireworks. So, going back to karmic soulmates, like why are they there for? So, when you incarnate on earth, you are here to experience life. Most people are there. There are a multitude of reasons why a soul tends to incarnate on earth. For some, it's a school to learn life experiences. For some, they want to be part of the earth's ascensions, which I have talked about in my previous videos. So do check that out. It's under videos. so they you guys have to understand karmic connections are here to bring you through a series of life lessons, and they are not necessarily bad. So it all goes back to what you constitute as a good experience and a bad experience, and what life is in general. Hi, Annalisa. So happy to see you. And Teresa, karmics are there to teach us lessons. I'm grateful for my karmic for all she taught me. Albie, good to see you. I think I released a karmic connection with a soulmate just the other night in 4D. Wasn't expecting to, as I hadn't experienced this soul in many years, but I suspect we are now free. Yes, which is beautiful. That is a good example. Thanks, Albie, for sharing that. So the key to actually finding your power in a karmic connection is to actually complete the cycle. So number one is to identify the connection as a karmic connection. Number two, look at the trends that are present. There's always a level of imbalance in karmic connections. So when you're aware of these signs, you tend to know, okay, I am with this person for a reason, and there's something that I have to learn out of this connection, and I am given this chance by God to complete this cycle on earth and to move on to another connection, perhaps. That's number one. Or for some, a karmic connection is actually beautiful because maybe 5 lifetimes ago, you may have really wanted to be with this person, but due to society, you guys were separated tragically. And then now you're given that opportunity to be with a karmic soulmate to actually live out your desires. So that is a beautiful, beautiful relationship. There's no toxicity attached to it. So not all karmic connections are bad either. Some karmic connections are actually good. It's all about identifying what the connection is. That is what's important. Like, you can only have like one, like twin flame, right? But you can have so many karmic soulmates. So that is another key difference. So that's why some people tend to misconstrue that as well. And the intensity of karmic connections are as powerful as twin flame connections, depending on the experiences that you guys had shared in past lives. And that's why it's not too bad if you find your karmic soulmate in this lifetime and you guys decide to create a beautiful life. It is in your hands to curate that, to work on all the lessons that you have to work on together and actually birth a new kind of relationship within that relationship spectrum. Ah, Megan, I'm still working on releasing my karmic. Still healing, it's still fresh. Yes. So it can be really hard and challenging, and that's why I have spoken about coping mechanisms in my previous videos as well. I'll run through it quick. So once you identify this person is your karmic, you tend to understand, all right, okay, I am in for one hell of a ride. And when you identify, things become manageable. So this is my karmic. And then you always call out to God and say, oh, I choose to complete a cycle with my karmic. And you are able to do it on a soul level, on the fifth dimensional level. You are able to actually close up the cycle even without going through the lesson or experience by and the only way you can do it is by God, like calling out to God. So if they are toxic, so that's why you have to identify what kind of a karmic connection it is. And if it's toxic, you have to navigate it within the earth spectrum. Like the question Melanie brought up, why is it so hard to let them go even if they are toxic and you know it? Because of the karmic entanglements that you guys have shared in past lives. And this is like 20 odd lifetimes or even 100 odd lifetimes. For some, it's like thousands of lifetimes. And that's why it's so hard to let go, because there's a sense of familiarity, there's a sense of comfort, there's a sense of, and karmic connections are not always romantic. They could be family members, they could be your colleagues, they could be your bosses. And sometimes you wonder, like, hey, why are they in my life and why is it so hard for me to like let go of this connection? And you're like, they're only a friend, but why is it, why am I always in the position of helping them? So these are karmic connections. There's another question. Korania, how do you know the difference between the karmic and twin flame, especially during separation? And that's why we have twin flame checks available. But truly, you can call out to God and find out the difference. But you have to really go past the. You can't just rely on information you get. You have to be able to identify what is accurate information as well. So that's why twin flame checks come in really handy. So next, once you actually identify what a karmic connection is, the next step would be to decide what you want to do with it, because you're going to have so many karmic soulmates and you can't complete all of them in one lifetime, or you can if you want to as well. And sometimes it's okay to settle down with a karmic connection because you know for certain they are in your life, but it's in your hands to make out what you want out of it as well. Like for instance, the popular Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. It's so obvious they are karmics, and they are both playing out lifetimes and lifetimes of things that they have been doing to each other, and the level of toxicity is immensely high. But however, once you actually identify the toxicity, you can actually evolve from it and you can release it and you can actually birth a new connection with the same person. So it's from which level you're vibrating from, essentially. And that's why some karmics just tend to drop out from certain people's lives because they are spiritually ascending, and then they are like, the karmic is like, you know what, my purpose with this person is over and it's time to move on. And healthily, amicably, they separate. But often there's a lot of anger and resentment because of things that has happened in the past life. So it could be something like one part, one partner may have been extremely dominating, and that may have caused a lot of frustration to the other partner. And so they would have decided, you know what, in the next lifetime, I'm going to reverse roles and I'm going to complete that cycle and I'm going to play that out. And I'm going to look at some questions. The soul versus ego level is so different. Yes, that's what I was talking about as well. The soul versus ego level is extremely different. Um, yes, and Obi says, I'm not sure. I think to forgive him here, but I sought his forgiveness there, and I no idea that we had a contract. Yes, so you guys do like with karmics, there's like a contract there, but you can always clear contracts, and that's where Agashik record clearing comes about. And I do that. I offer that as a paid service as well. There you look at all the contracts and you can actually clear them so that you're free to live the life you want on earth. And remember, anything can be broken, nothing is bound, or you don't, it's not necessary or it's compulsory to live it out. If you truly feel, you know what, this is not for me, you always go back to God and tell God, you know what, I am aware and I want to seek forgiveness to the higher selves of our souls, and you can actually complete the cycle like that. Or you could actually plead out to God and say that, you know what, I'm given another opportunity with my karmic. Instead of it being unpleasant, I want it to be a pleasant experience. And that's how you evolve the toxicity to something more humane. Teresa, I know I released my karmic because I was recently told Jay and I would reconnect, and I was feeling detached and not really wanting to reunite with her. Anyone that knows me knows I struggled for a year and a half to let her go, but I feel so free. Yes. And actually releasing your karmic in that soul level is also vital because it's you and you are in control of that, and it's a very healthy exercise. I'm new to the journey. I'm working on healing my inner child. That's wonderful, Corania. That is so good. And, healing begins within you. So good on you. Yep, that's what 40 is for, Obi. Not enough hours in the day. Amy, my ex is definitely a karmic. My connection and relationship is done, but I can't get away from him and be officially done due to the divorce process. It's never ending. Yes, divorce process is never ending. Oh my gosh. I'm doing a few divorce cases right now, and they are the longest, the most tiring, the most saddest. And it's totally, you sometimes wonder, how can two people who loved each other so much turn extremely nasty to one another. It is one of those that you know puts me in awe all the time. Obi, do you feel there's a difference between karmic partners versus soulmates with karma? Um, there is absolutely some thin differences to that as far as definition is concerned. So you can have karma with soulmates too if you're incarnating in 3D planets or 3D like planets. So always remember, karma is only available in 3D like planets. In higher dimensions, there are no such thing as karma. There's no such thing as cause and effect because there is no time and everything is happening simultaneously. That's the reason why souls incarnate in Earth like planets, which are quite a few and rare, to actually live out a karma or live out an experience. So it's just that, there's always a balance between dark and good forces. So they tend to kind of manipulate the definitions there. So I don't want to go into that because the purpose of this video is to help you to ascend and evolve and understand how you can free yourself from a negative karmic situation or actually help that connection evolve as well. So identification is key. So that's why sometimes it's not so bad when you identify someone as a karmic soulmate. At least you have a lifetime with them for certain because there is something to be played out there. There's a lesson to be lived out there. So there's definitely, so in that way, if you guys are so into I want to be with my person into union, then if that person is a karmic, it's actually positive for you because you know for sure you're going to be with that person. You know, you have the opportunity to uh, be with that person. So it's not so bad after all. That's why spiritual development and spiritual evolution are really, really important often, because they are the ones that are going to help you to be able to see beyond the veil, the dimensions, and understand what exactly your life is. And that's why soul reports are amazing, and that's the reason why connection identification are amazing. Agashik records level healing and clearing are amazing, because that helps you identify what has been holding me back. Or did I make a contract with someone before coming into earth space? What do I do? And you know, you can often clear these contracts on the AR level and then be free, because you're not bound to anyone or anything. That is the truth. Life is an expression of freedom and unconditional love. So you guys don't have to be bound by a certain tragedy. And often people are stuck in situations is because they do not want to evolve, and they are in denial, or they think that, oh, this is how my life is, I'm trapped. And that's when your vibration becomes extremely low and there is no solution whatsoever to the outcome. That's why toxicity cycles are important to release. Yes, Obi, I do agree. Soulmates with karma are harder to release, but ultimately, all kinds of cause and effect situations can be released. It's all up to the soul, and you know, there are a lot of healing and clearing services I offer as well, which you guys can have a look into. Megan, I saw all the toxic cycles repeating themselves with Ricky. Such a sweet soul, but he has serious problems. He just can't get away from this fentanyl, and being with me just seems to bring it out in him. I'm not an addictive personality, so it's impossible for me to understand him on an empathetic level. And this is the kind of, firstly, Megan, good on you for recognizing the connection and what the connection is made up of, and the themes you have pulled them up pretty well. And on a very technical level, you know that these cycles are repeating. So this is when you can release that cycle back into the universe with the guidance of God, by actually setting out an intent that I want to complete a cycle with my karmic, and it is already over and I don't want this to repeat again. And that's when the magic happens. Amy, right? I had one readers tell me my person doesn't seem like a karmic relationship, but we have karmic cords. I'm confused. When you have karmic cords, that means there's underlying karma to be completed, you know, or cause and effect situations to be balanced. In fact, I try not to use the word karma as much. I, in fact, prefer using cause and effect situations to be balanced, because karma is all about balancing it out, right? And people have to realize that you are not forced. Nothing in life is forced, guys. And that is why it is important to anchor the power back to you, your soul, and your connection with God, in order to see beyond this illusion and understand that nothing or no one can hack into your matrix unless you actually give them permission or allow them to do so. So often people are stuck because they feel unworthy, they have low self-esteem, they feel like I have no way out, or they think that I'm not beautiful enough, so I'm like stuck with this person. I'm Sometimes it takes a leap of faith to walk out from a situation and understand there's always good around that you can tap onto. And that's why the legal system is amazing that way, because you have a neutral party or parties looking into separation of assets, etc. Teresa, I have no regrets. Jess taught me so much about myself and prepared me for Alvin. I'm making my move for him too now. All the best, hon. Hope that goes well. Ro, wish my karmic would just leave on his own. 20 years married and only realized within last 2 years that I can't continue. He's being very nasty now, very negative energy for him. So this is the kind of situation that you really have to work hard and you have to be bold. It's not easy, but you have to be firm and stand up for yourself, which is very hard after 20 years of marriage. Um, I do divorce cases back at work, and I know how traumatizing and how difficult it is for couples to just say what they truly feel. But sometimes, if a cycle has to end, it has to end, it has to be completed. Only then you guys would be free to evolve and birth new connections and live happy and free lives. So, Ro, I wish you all the strength and support to be able to find the balance you're looking for. Yeah, the family law is one of the most tiring because there's so much, because couples just don't settle because they are like, and then it becomes like a match, one person says this, other. Yeah, actually, it's essentially the same. When there's karma, karmic chords, there's something to balance or clear, a cause and effect to live out, and there are ways to actually wrap it around. And Agashik records clearing is good, that I recommend. It's one of my services. It really helps. Some people are not born with any karma because this is their first time on a 3D like planet. So, and some star seeds are just not bound by karma because of the mission they are in as well. So, not everyone has karma, and some are immune to karma as well, the cause and effect. And that's the reason why star seeds live very cautious lives so as to not have too much cause and effect there, and it often balances out because of that immense service they are doing for humanity anyway. It's extensive, I agree. I also had beautiful karmic soulmate bonds, which I simply outgrew as I reached. Yes, so Obi, thanks for that. It's about reaching out to your true, authentic self and connecting with God eventually, and that's when you become more clear in this journey. All I know is I want out of this journey. It's so painful and confusing. You see, once you actually recognize that you need to come out, that in itself is good because you're going to take the necessary steps and find the necessary solutions to actually come out of it. Obi, I'm so glad you emphasize how we are not bound by karma. The more we evolve, yeah, exactly. No one is bound by karma, and whoever says that they are, I'm sorry to say, they are just stuck by the third dimensional notions of fear and insecurity. And sometimes it's just a money making thing, to just scare people. Because you always remember, you are the creator of your life, your experience, and everything is in your hands. And that's the reason why going back to God is so essential. Like, if you want to plead it out to your creator, plead it out to God. I mean, that is like the easiest way. And MJ has replied, did you read the post under featured and announcement? There are a few that will be beneficial to you. Yes, guys, always do check out featured and announcements. They're very good articles for you to rely on. Another thing is, like I had explained earlier as well, not all karmic soulmates are bad either. Some are out there to experience. So, example, this couple, karmic couple may have experienced a life of poverty, but in this lifetime, they have been given an opportunity to live out a life of luxury. And why would they want to say no to that? There's nothing negative about that. They are just they're two people who love each other so much and are given an opportunity by their soul to live out an experience which they were deprived of in another lifetime. That's why not all karmic connections are toxic, and sometimes it's a blessing, when you meet a karmic soulmate. Important thing is your own spiritual evolution. If you are in the right zone of evolving, you will be able to handle any kind of connection, because no connection is truly bad, because we are all, you know um, we are all children of God ultimately. So It's about how connected you are with God. And that is why we keep mentioning this in every video, because that is how, nope, a twin flame can't be a karmic. Yeah. Glad I have come across this. I recently got a reading and was told that I'm crushing on maybe a karmic relationship. Yes. So, Eunice, that is good. So now identify what kind of lessons do you guys have to live out. And often through a psychic reading, you'll be able to figure out what are the lessons that you guys have to live out. So it could be something like, you may not have had children in a previous lifetime, and then now you're given the chance in this lifetime to be together and to have children. So these are all positive cause and effect expressions. Amy, I'm glad you explained it that way, and why it's really about label free. If they push you to be better and you want to grow with them, yeah, exactly. That's why going label free is so important, and treating every connection as unique, and to see what people can teach you and what you can teach others are so. And this is when you start living from 5D. And when you start living from the soul, things transform. You become the navigator of your life, and you are not bound by fear or circumstances or by what other people say. You start believing in yourself, and if you are in doubt, you go directly to God. Like I always say, healers, psychics are here to assist you. It's more of a secondary service. Primarily, you are able to heal yourself. Of course, sometimes you may need assistance and guidance, and that's why we are here to offer paid services as well. But always remember, you are you are your biggest supporter. You are your biggest witness. And that is why it is so important to develop that self confidence and that security, and to understand that you are a soul. You have immense potential, and you are able to navigate your circumstances eventually when you evolve to that level where you're able to understand energies and to interpret what is happening around you and understand. So do you want to live a life which is 100% just happiness and without experience? Then souls wouldn't choose to come on earth. They come to earth because they want to have an holistic experience. And that's the reason why, when you understand what these things are, you're able to live with it in style, in other words. Okay, I think that's what the reader meant. In this lifetime, my TF doesn't want to be married, but I still do. So my husband gives me that. That's what I discovered. Even if my husband can be a stinker, yeah, exactly. So when you are here, you eventually settle down with connections that help you to navigate life in this lifetime. So it goes back to what you want. Do you want a husband? Do you want children? So Ariella, thanks for that. You have to do what you need and what you want. And sometimes your twin flame might not be available to give you certain things, and in no way can one force another soul, even if it's your twin flame, into the kind of. And that's when it becomes egocentric, and it falls down to 3D. So when you are actually vibrating from a higher dimension, you understand that no one is bound by anything or anybody or any circumstance or any situation. The soul chooses to experience these things, be it negative or positive. God got me out of the marriage. I 100% know it. I'm always happy to share my own experience. That's wonderful. Yes. You don't have to label any connection. You just know it feels different. I don't label my connection with animal. It seems to magnetize us more. The more I let go of expectations and labels. Yes, the more you let go of expectations and labels, the more you guys can evolve. Absolutely. Kimberly, you can always request for a free reading, and you can request for me, and I can give you a free relationship reading. But if you want something more private, you can always book me for a private consultation. And MJF said it explained it so beautifully. Don't confuse a karmic soulmate and playing out karma with someone. You can play out your karma with anyone, but a twin flame cannot be a karmic. Yeah. And thanks, MJ, for that. All right. Okay. So the next part of this video I wanted to share is once you've established what a connection is, and once you've established whether it benefits you or not, or whether it's the experience you want to experience or not, things become a little bit more manageable. So, like Ariella had shared previously, she chose to be with a karmic soulmate, her husband. Um, am I right to say that? Let me read out a comment again. Yes, so Ariella, because her twin flame was not available, is not available to give her the marriage. So you see, sometimes you guys have to choose your lives according to what you want as well. And always remember, a twin flame journey is extremely hard and challenging because it is a divine connection and things are divinely orchestrated. And you have to understand that it is about evolution and working on yourself. These are the two basic principles. If you want it to be like a movie kind of life, often it's a soulmate, brand new connection, or just a romantic connection. It could be any connection. And that is the reason why you have to really, really, really get over the fear of karma, and there is no negativity attached to it. Everything has a cause and effect, right? Like you breathe in oxygen and you breathe out carbon dioxide. All right, guys, I'm going to go on for another 20 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, please ask me about this topic or any other stuff that you guys want to clarify as well. I hope I've covered everything as far as karmic soulmates are concerned. And oh, wait, I wanted to touch on this. I have already explained it, but I'll explain it one more time. Why do people fear karmic connections? Because there is a big level of negativity attached to the word karma itself. So that's why people fear it, because people think, oh shit, if it's a karmic, then I am doomed. But that is not the case. You have to understand what exactly the karmic connection is and what are the lessons that you guys are going to outlive and whether you want to choose this for your life or not. So you get a chance to reevaluate your options once you're on earth as well. And that's why I'm saying you have to be connected to soul and God at all times. So if you want to settle with your karmics, it's clearly up to you as well. Um, so that's why, Clinissa, instead of saying stuff like I don't like karmics, see what a karmic connection is, because there are some karmics who are not too bad after all. But I apologize for all the experience that you may have had for you to actually feel that way. um, Megan, I definitely get the sense that Animal is getting kicked up by the rear by the divine. I can see his resolve cracking. He says he doesn't want to be anything steady, but yet it's always, I see you next week. He's a trip. Did you miss the whole? All right, let me see. Any more question, guys? Oh, Kimberly, I just want to know if I should stay with Sean. Okay, Kimberly, looking into your Agashik records, I think that you can stay with Sean if that's what you choose to. Um, there is definitely some future that I do see with Sean, but I also get the guidance that it is up to you whether you want to stay with Sean or not. There is no should, there's nothing mandatory there. So it's clearly up to you. Ah, Teresa, that's wonderful. I'm grateful for my karmic. I pray we can be friends in this lifetime. I just want Jay to be happy. Exactly. Ro, what's the best way to cut off the karmic in a peaceful way for us both? Go back to God, like completely surrender to God and tell your God, please give me, help me to wrap up this karmic connection I have with this person, I can recommend a Akashic record clearing as well, where you can clear off karmic contracts. So it's a blocks and restrictions clearing, which actually prevents you from living out your best life. That's a paid service I offer as well. But like I said, you can always pray to God and balance off that connection. Yeah, like Obi says, so certain karmics tend to direct you to heal certain parts of yourself that you're not able to see as well. So not all karmic experiences are bad experiences either. Yeah. I was going to say, Ariella, yes, your husband is actually a soulmate, and I don't feel that, but I feel a connection. Yeah, so there are many, like every person can have multiple soulmates. So definitely your husband is like one of the many soulmates that you have, and that's the reason why you're able to like live out this life together. That's great, Amy. You see, this shows the level of evolution that you have experienced, and that's why you're able to see beyond the 3D notions and definitions of what a karmic connection is. Yes, keep on doing it, Ro. Like, keep doing it, and you will definitely find the strength, and you will feel the shift as well. So, the karmic you do, like MG says, it's all in the way you pray as well. You have to actually ask God, like, be clear, be sure of what exactly you're seeking as well. Only then God will be able to guide you. And that's why MG said it's all in the way you pray as well. So, Akashic Records clearing and healing is actually for you. And often when you heal, your twin heals as well in their own way. Um, is there any guidance that comes through for me on the situation with Ricky that I'm at least on the right path? Megan, you have it under control, and yes, absolutely, you're on the right path. Just go with the flow, keep being connected to the divine, and everything will fall in place, and you have nothing to worry about. Lorinda, one of my karmics, 18 years together, left me a voicemail today to wish me happy birthday. Then tried the manipulation tactic. Thanks for telling me about your dad. Yeah, you see, now you're able to recognize these patterns so you can navigate through this karmic connection more efficiently. That's why recognition is key, and that you actually recognize the manipulation and you're able to see past that. Like a lot of people often don't recognize the manipulation or gaslighting that may be in that spectrum of negative um, karmics that are embroiled in negative experiences. I'll be. All right, guys, 15 more minutes. Any more questions? I will quickly wrap up about this as well. Um, and all right, I was just checking something for a moment. Oh, yeah. The Mercury retrograde has been very interesting, guys, and it has taken a toll on all beings. You may have experiences, technological issues, you may have experienced certain challenges in your day to day life as well. So, but again, like anything in life, when you're aware of something, you're able to navigate around it. So, okay, Mercury retrograde is happening. So, how do I um, survive this? And that's when you get the solution to actually navigate it again. Yeah, guys, if I've missed your question, then please post it again because sometimes I'm not able to see all of them from here. Ro, over my married life, I never saw the red flags until last 2 years. So some karmic connections are like that. When one soul evolves more, they are no longer vibrating the same vibration, and that's when the red flags tend to start coming by and coming out. That's why it is so important to actually recognize what is happening. Okay, I need to press that question. I can't. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much. You are so sweet, and I'm so happy to have you in my life all the time. I'm curious, did my college fiance actually experience that in a dream? Our contact, is he free now? Yes, often karmics do share dreams as well. It's a good way to release a cycle. So it will do. I always have car troubles during Mercury retrograde. Yeah, yes. Anything technical, mechanical does tend to happen. It was so intense, but I can't ask and won't ask. I love him so much, Samantha. My karmic J owes me, oh dear, owes me a lot of money, and because of that, I have been keeping limited lines of communication, hoping he'll keep his word on paying me back. Is that causing any blockages? It's good that you have recognized that toxic pattern there, and you're more in control of it, and you're able to draw boundaries with your karmic and know that is an imbalance there, and it's not causing blockages per se with Brian, but definitely you recognizing that pattern is helping your soul forgive and move on from your connection with Jay and not let it repeat itself any longer either. It's been a little rough, flat tire, emotions haywire. That's the retrograde. COVID is kind of a blessing because I'm forced to rest. Yes, I'm glad you're getting all the rest that you need. Julia, my ex is a karmic. I just had our cord cut about a month ago. We'll always love each other and have deep respect for each other. I wouldn't take back any of the pain, even though sometimes I wish. The relief I now feel is amazing. He had been my catalyst to my spiritual journey. Some karmics actually inspire people to go on the spiritual journey. Um, Ariala, regarding the reading you did for me last week, yesterday I was listening to Mary, Did You Know? And my TF's face was staring at me where I actually saw him like he was listening to, so it startled me. Yes, that's mirroring more beautifully explained. Is Sean my soulmate? Definitely I see a soul connection. I mean, a soulmate connection with you and Sean, and definitely you guys have the opportunity to experience life together if that is a choice. Yes, Megan, I'm definitely giving you your twin flame check report this week. Are you able to tell whether I will have a peaceful cut from karmic? Have been praying for exactly that. So, if you have it under control and if you're confident, if you can do it yourself, then absolutely you will have a peaceful cut from your karmic. And if you ever require assistance, you can always contact me privately for that. But remember that you can't be dwelling on it. You send out that prayer and let things happen and not be obsessed over that, because that affects the energy of the healing and clearing as well. I know it's really hard, Ro, but you got to really have the leap of faith and completely trust God and divine in aiding you balance things as well. Okay, so with karmic as well, there are signs, and these signs are always related to cause and effect principles from past lives. So, yes, sometimes you do see dreams and signs of like cycle completion as well. And that's why there's a thin line between twin flames and karmics. Lorinda, I met my DM almost a year after the split with the karmic. I had to block the karmic because he kept, oh dear, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm glad you did block him. This is the kind of toxic connection that you really have to cut off, like completely. Like, yeah, and the divine will help you in this. Yeah. You're welcome, bro. You have got this. Believe in yourself. That's the most important thing. And that you are the master of your own life and your healing. And all of you guys, always remember you are the master of your life and you have it. Like nothing can affect you unless you allow it to. And that's why praying, meditation, yoga, engaging in spiritual activities, all of these are so vital. It's like soul food. Like you have food for the physical body, right? Sometimes you have to also feed your soul with um, good experiences. That's why there's a lot of mantras available to balance off energies. There's Reiki healing, there's Isis Seichim healing, there's all sorts of modalities that can aid you in your journey. And always remember these are aids to aid you in your journey rather than completely believing in one modality. That's why it's important to be holistic. And so, summarizing what we have been talking about, first you have to establish what kind of karmic connection you have with a person. Secondly, you have to navigate through the connection. And thirdly, you have to always go back to your creator, God, and find out what exactly you are bound and whether you want to continue with this experience or not. In that way, you can complete a cycle more efficiently and much quicker. Um, Also, always have that sense of excitement and passion for life. Not everything is bad. Always remember Earth is holistic, so you will always be surrounded by joy and sorrow. That is the design of this planet. If everything is 100% bliss, you are living in 5D, and everyone can live in 5D, but that takes a great level of spiritual evolution. So the basic difference, which I've spoken about in previous videos as well, is that when you are living from 5D, what happens is you start viewing your life from your higher self, and that's how you are able to navigate problems. And that's why it's like viewing your life from above. Life becomes clearer when you have that perspective of viewing your life from above. And that's when you have solutions to your problems, because you need that level of detachment to life in order to evolve as well. So for example, with a karmic connection, a great level of detachment will actually help you to make decisions. Like what Lorinda says, she blocked the person. It's a great level of detachment that gives her the confidence to do so. So that's why ensuring that your vibrations are high up, which you can actually through physical activities, Kundalini yoga is something really good. It helps to wire up your vibrations, reading spiritual books, praying to God, spending time with your loved ones. Another thing that really elevates your vibration is doing something that you're greatly passionate about. Like these things help you to live life to the fullest and elevate your vibrations. And often when your vibrations are much higher, even when you have a karmic experience, you are able to close the cycle um, quite easily, because you recognize it quite immediately. Once you start living life from your higher self with detachment, things fall in place. Often people tend to immerse themselves too much in worldly experiences, and that's what causes pain and suffering. But it's a great level of skill that you have to develop, and that's why working on it all goes back to working on yourself. Working on yourself is the sexiest thing that you can do in the 21st century. It's all about your self-worth, self-healing, self-confidence, loving yourself. Like when you look at the mirror, you got to be like, hey, I love you. I love you for you. And that's the kind of things you have to say, and this is what develops your self-confidence and your self-worth. And do things for yourself, like buy that favorite piece of cake that you have been not eating because you want to burn off calories. Do things to enrich your life. And when you start living for yourself and living a holistic, wholesome life, everything falls in place. You no longer have to rely on your twin flame or soulmate or any kind of friendship or connection or anything to boost how you feel. It is within you. And that's why, guys, keep on working on yourselves and keep on praying to God as well. I'm going to read a few more comments. And we do have unconditional love for ourselves, always. And like Obi says, and we actually do love ourselves from Friday, always. People forget this. That's what's sad. Obi, I want the mission above anything else, but I try not to be obsessed. Just to, yes, living in the moment also helps you to vibrate higher, guys. Live in the moment. Do not dwell in the past or be obsessed with the future. Be in the moment. Be be alert, enjoy. Like sometimes you just go out and look at the sun or look at the trees or and just feel that connection, the oneness we share with our surroundings, and this brings you peace and serenity, and you feel tranquil, and all of these things. So that's why, guys, number one, before I go, do not always think that all karmic connections, karmic relationships are negative. And once you recognize it, see how you can complete the cycle with that person. And then, thirdly, if it's really unbearable, go back to God and say, please give me the strength and guidance to evolve from this. And fourthly, keep working on yourself, keep working on your spiritual evolution. Find the joy within instead of looking for joy or love in another person. We often have love and joy unlimitedly within us. But that doesn't matter. Some days I'm okay and will be working and doing my thing, and then, yes, you have to release it. When your soul hurts, cry it out and release it. This is all part of catharsis as well. And guys, these videos are here. You can always watch them from the beginning and try to understand where I am coming. And essentially, what I'm trying to say is that go label free. Any connection, if you remove the label and treat it as a unique connection, you will have a solution that will be birthed out to you from God, from divine. And that's why sometimes you have to recognize what you have to heal as well. And often you can't be entangled in your own toxic patterns, such as blame or low self worth, or why am I so unlucky in life, or why does this have to happen to me? Why? Instead of questioning why, look for a solution. Solution. How can I enhance my life? All right, now I am stuck with a karmic partner. How can I exit that karmic connection? Oh, how can I make it better? Is there some ego things that we both have to work on? Is there something that we have not spoken about or cleared out? Is there a lesson that we have not lived out? Or why are certain patterns repeating? Ask yourself, why is the same themes repeating? And that's when forgiveness and unconditional love comes to play, because you forgive your karmic, and you forgive them in all their multidimensional selves, and then in that way everyone is free. Oh, thank you, Ro. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you feel better, and that is my purpose. To guide you guys and to help you guys, and that's why this is such a good way to communicate and answer all your questions. So, guys, if you want a reading or a healing or anything from your Akashic records, do not hesitate to book me for a private session. And I have posted my link, and you can always check that out. But always remember, you have it under control and you are fully capable of healing yourselves as well. That's why always, always, always pray to God. And secondly, have that self confidence, guys. You've got this. You guys have been doing so well, evolving at such beautiful faces at your own time. And I'm so proud of all of y'all. And I'm so happy to see y'all every week. Feel free to, drop a heart in my album, in this video, and always feel free to ask me any questions. I'm just going to go up and see if I missed any questions. You see, exactly. So, my ex-husband never wanted me to be independent. You see, that is a pattern that you can break. You recognize this, and then you realize, you know what, this connection is no longer working. So one of the ways is to Once you've identified it, you have a solution. You know that, okay, this is not working, or you can help your, in a hypothetical situation, if a person is still with their husband and they don't want you to be independent, you can actually tell them that the world is changing, everyone is evolving, and I have the right to live out my life as well. And if it doesn't work, you move on to another connection. Oh, that is wonderful, Lorinda. uh, that's good. Keep singing and keep inspiring yourself and the world. Have I missed out any more questions? I'm just going to look. Or you are most welcome, Corania. Orania, am I pronouncing your name right? I'm sorry if I haven't. And guys, any more questions with regards to today? And if you guys want me to do any channeling, I can go on for a couple more minutes. So let me know. If not, we'll wrap up for today. Mm, I really love how that conversation's going on within, and I'm so glad that this is such a beautiful place to share your thoughts and everything. All right, wrapping up. Remove that notion that all that karma is bad. Number one, rule number one, karma is cause and effect, and karma is 3D centric, so it's quite unique to earth. So when people say that, oh, you're going to carry karma or you're going to be stuck on earth, please guys, remove those from your mind, because these are what is going to entrap you further. Thirdly, always recognize and remember the divinity in you, and always connect with God. And prayer is one of the ways. Talk to God like God is your friend, and always remember God has your back. Thirdly, once you have recognized what kind of a connection, you're actually free. That is one level of being free. Fourthly, appreciate every connection, appreciate life in general. Not everything is always bad. It's how you perceive things to be. Challenges are always going to be there because we are coexisting with numerous other souls, and there's always going to be different spectrums of stuff that's going on. All right. Shay, did I miss Shay's question? May I ask a guidance on Frank and I? Frank and you are both evolving at a beautiful pace, so keep doing it. And also, uh, he's trying to communicate with you through your dreams, so be more alert during your dreams. And Frank's higher self has been sending you a lot of messages. Be open to them either. So that's the guidance I have for you, Shay. So be open to communication from the etheric plane. So that's what I'm getting. And Orania. So am I pronouncing it right? Oh, that's so you have such a beautiful name, Orania. It's so beautiful. Oh, you belly dance. That's beautiful. I can see a bit of your photo. You are such a beautiful, beautiful looking girl. Wow, and with a beautiful name. So are all of you. I love how you guys are just beautiful, both inside and outside. It's just amazing. And I hope today's video has inspired you to understand what exactly a karmic connection is and why sometimes it's not always bad. Of course, if it is toxic, always, always seek help. There is social service out there, there are counselors out there, there are psychics like me out here, healers and psychics like me. You can always reach out to us. But always, when you recognize a toxicity in any connection, if you need help, guys, get professional help. That will save you a lot of time and pain. There's certain things that, like for certain things, you need to get medical attention. Go get medical attention. So be aware of that. And if you are a victim of domestic abuse, please reach out to the domestic abuse people. Don't suffer in silence as well. And those people are trained to support you, so there's no judgment. There are shelters out there. So I wanted to be very clear about this, because I don't want people who are suffering to suffer more because they think, oh, being with a karmic is okay. I want to be very clear here. If there are situations that are unbearable and you're being physically abused, being gaslighted, please go and seek the necessary professional help, guys. I can't insist that further. And yes, I have said my piece, and I think we are ending out in a very good note. Appreciate every connection, go label free, and I'll definitely come back again with another brand new video and topic. Thank you so much, MJ, for inspiring this topic, and I'm so glad that we talked about it because it's such an important topic. And if I had ever missed out anything, I'll answer your questions next week in my next week live. Have a great weekend, guys, and love you all. And yes, if you want anything, please check out my album. And if you guys want a free reading, you can request for me too. And I want to say I'm so grateful to you all. You guys are such beautiful audience, and I'm so glad that we are doing this every week. And please send your heart and love, and it's always nice to see all the reactions that I get. It's fantastic and it's beautiful. And you guys all have a great week. Take care. Love you all. And bye bye.